it can move because the automatic is not on.
Good morning. My name is Steve Woloz. I'm the Zone Director for the MAAC Association, and we're in the St. Lawrence Zone. We have created a Learn to Build program for multi-rotors. This program came as a second phase of teaching programs for the community here in Côte St. Luc. We started first with a Learn to Fly program. The boys mastered that very much, and now they want a greater challenge. So what we decided to do is go to the next level and actually teach the people how to build the drones such as this one over here. Our target audience is someone who has spatial perception, good manual dexterity, and has the ability to understand a little bit about electronics. The course teaches them basics about how to assemble, how to do minor soldering, and it is not too complicated. And then once we finish the assembly, we teach them how to do minor programming of a circuit board, such as this over here, and this is the flight controller mechanism. Our goal is to teach them how to program the multi-rotors, and then how to fly them, and at all times concentrating on safety. The program is aimed at people who have a bit of knowledge and want to learn, and this is the first step. We will go to a phase 2 of this program, in which we will change the programming module for the flight controller and go to one which is more sophisticated, which give them GPS programming capability, so that in flying it they will be able to establish waypoints along the way, do functions and tasks such as taking photographs at certain points, loitering or holding at a certain location. The programming will also give altitude readings, tell them about their speed, their distance, and return to home function. We'll also have programming capability, which will include collision avoidance, auto takeoff, auto land. So the program now is that we're doing initially is a beta test program to see how well we have developed the program, how well the students absorb the program, and our target is to run phase 2 of the program to a large group of around 5 to 7 people, in which we will then go to actually implement the same program, but with the refinements of what we've learned from doing the first program. This program after will be followed by a more advanced program in which we will change the flight controller mechanism from the KK2 controller to a Pixhawk controller, which will be the more sophisticated GPS programming system. Anyways, we're now in these still early stages, and we look forward to doing and advancing further, and then we will get back and talk more about our success and our room for improvement. Jack, if he could sit here with us for a few minutes, talk to us about his experience with photography, with drones, and because I know that when we started this program, Dave, you expressed, and Mark, you expressed an interest in using the drones for purposes of taking pictures and photography, and I am not knowledgeable about it at all. And maybe Dave could give us some insight as to how or where we could look to for a resource in terms of guidance about advanced stages of using photography or doing photography with drones.
So I'll tell you how the passion led, where it went. I was a photographer, still pictures, and I would take nature. I actually did win a number of awards, and I traveled around the world to Africa and Galapagos Islands and would wait sometimes for weeks to try to get that perfect shot. And it sort of came to an end, and it was fun. I did it for, I don't know, 12 years or something, but I wanted to do something new. And I said, you know, this stuff with the drones looks so terrific, and maybe I can have a camera, but I don't want to take still pictures. I'd like to learn how to take videos. So I bought a DJI, which is quite a sophisticated drone. You'll see a picture of it. I sexed it all up with different colors, and I put protective stuff on it. And but I didn't know anybody. I was all alone with this, and I would go out into Hampstead Park at night, and it was winter time. So Hampstead Park had snow all over it, like about, I don't know, 6 feet of snow. Nobody was in there. And I would bring this little rubber pad, which was like a landing pad for me, and I put it down on the sidewalk, and I take off and fly with the drone. Naturally, the very first time, you wouldn't believe, this bloody tree just pulled itself out from the roots, jumped up about 22 feet, hit my drone, and the bloody camera broke off. Wasn't a big expense, mind you. You know, it was $800 just for the camera. Anyways, with practice, I actually got pretty good. The security guards in Hampstead would come and park and watch me fly. The snow melted, and the kids started coming to the park, and people were walking their dogs, and oh my God, that's all I need is to chop a head off. I have to find out what to do. And so I looked around, went on the internet, and discovered that there are what we call flying clubs. Oh my God, there's other guys that do what I do. And the club that I first came across was WIMAC, W-I-M-A-C, West Island Model Aeronautics Club. And I went online to see what I could do to join, and I filled out an application. And shortly thereafter, this guy, I never heard of him, Steve Woloz, gives me a call, and he says, you know, I think we go to the same synagogue together. I said, oh, really? He said, yeah, and I've been flying for years, and if you want to join WIMAC, I can help you, I can get involved with you, and so on. And he's been a darling for me, really, just a beautiful man, and I'm pleased to have gotten to know him. So here I come out to WIMAC, I meet the president, he's 80 years old. All the guys flying at these clubs are seniors, because seniors have time, so they can build their things. They have a little bit of money. And I was shocked, like a kid is 60 years old. And there are very few kids at the field. And it ranges all the way up to 100. And what's interesting, like I've made new friends well into their 80s. I have one friend, Dick Bayless, he's 91. And it's terrific to see these guys because they're constantly bending down and fixing this and fixing that, standing up, bending down, walking to where the drone crashed or whatever. And they really have exercise, and they have a passion. They wanna wake up and do stuff. So it's really very interesting. The maybe bad thing that Steve might not want me to tell you is that I saw these guys flying airplanes. And oh my God, that's so exciting. Because in order for a plane to fly, it has to be identical to a real plane. It has what we call ailerons and flaps and a rudder and elevators, far more complex to fly than the drones. Once you get into the drones, you're going to see, hey, it's a piece of cake. After a while, it's a piece of cake, and it'll even become boring. Unless you get into the photography, which I try to do, and I'm going to show you an example. I joined what's called Photo Adobe. Photo Adobe is an online program. I think it originates out of United States, and you can't buy it. They're smart. They rent it to you. They charge you $30 a month. A month. And what it allows you to do is when you take a video, you download the video onto your computer, you open up this Adobe photo program and it allows you, but it's going to university. You have to really learn. And it teaches you through the learning, and then it gives you the capability of editing your work. If I can show you anything that's of interest. But come look, guys. This is the drone. As you can see, I sexed it up. I put the red protectors here, and that way I knew that was the front of my drone, because I did want to learn to fly my drone where there's a front to it. And I would turn it always with the front. I didn't have it where when you push forward, it just goes forward, you push backward.
Headless mode, yeah.
I didn't do headless mode. I wanted to get a little sophisticated. And this was my control transmitter right here. And I would have a tablet on it so that I could see what the camera was seeing in the tablet. And if I wanted to get a little sexier, there were my goggles, and I could put my goggles on, and then I could feel like I'm actually in the thing. And the red and the gold and all that stuff, you get out of China. They're called skins. And you get them and you peel it off like wax paper, and you put it on, and you can make all these sexy designs and make it yours, you know, make it personal. And seeing that I didn't build it, that was my way of making it mine. So let's see if we can go back. I'll show you an evening in Hampstead. So this was in Hampstead Park. Okay, so this was in the park one night, probably January of 2016, because that's when I got interested in the hobby. So it's a little over 2 years ago. And here my drone is starting to gradually go up.